Alright, hello everybody, welcome to VR Master League here on Channel 1. We're back into it, I'm Palidore, and we got some matches for you once again. Already had a few strung up all in a row, thanks Sir Dimwee for camming casting several of those. Had a couple master matches in there, and now we've got some, well, currently Diamond/Gold match here between Ruin Kings and Hot Drop. I'm gonna make extra sure that I get it right this time. I was kind of flip-flopping last time around between Hot Drop, Drop Box, and Hot Box, so you can imagine how that went a few days back on stream. But this time, gonna put some respect down these teams' names, because that is to say, Hot Drop coming in 8-1. We have Ruin Kings 8-0, so they're kind of for Ruin Kings an identical spot basically to where Hot Drop was just a couple days back, dropping, in fact, their first match after a lot of, well, obviously wins all up in a row, versus Inverted, though, is where their streak stopped. So now Hot Drop trying to do the same here to Ruined Kings, who have that record of 8-0 as well. Had wins recently against Sage Grove, Fox Force 5, underrated rookies, and definitely not an underrated team based on what they've been doing. Alright, so with that, got 3 or 4 matches all up in a row if things go according to schedule. A little bit of a delayed start here, that being said, but happy to get these all done and see what these teams provide. So thank you again for joining everyone in there. Heckin, FMJ, Crazy, Kit, Feener, Techno Wubs, and let's get to it. So, first possession here, Hot Drop, Ruin Kings, and getting stuck in the mid lane just a little bit. And we'll be Draco Mako with a disc. Couple in the goal there. We see Cameron, Farting Crab, Toki, and Slater. So yeah, that's right. Toki pointing out in there. In the chat, we've seen Toki a lot here in recent weeks. Really across the whole season. Definitely a talented league sub. Slater having this stolen by HD Smoke, but right back at him. There's Toki with a grab Toki over to Cameron, and Cameron on into the deep end. Now Crab and Slater are there for the taker, though. It's King. King gets the clear. And even off the side wall, as often is the case, those can turn into shot attempts, although it won't be the case that time around. So snagging it is Tiny Thug, and some double KOs as the disc gets snagged by Smoke. So Smoke to the shoulders, and Tiny Thug as well, backing it out to King. Good spacing here and positioning from this team on Hot Drop. Draco Mako will make a play, and they'll go, well, right to the nugget. King takes it, and King couldn't quite make it, but a rebound will still be had. So King with the disc now. Still pretty good space in here. Don't even need the pass, though, because it does get past the Crab in the goal. One way or the other, bouncing into it. So first points for Hot Drop after a couple of minutes of action.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, so Ruin Kings now on their first offensive joust advantage here. Over to Slater. Slater from that left tunnel, sending it to the right. There's Toki right back at him, weaving in some strong passes here. Defense not really all there yet, but as I say that, they do catch up. That stack was a little delayed to get started, but once it did, well, they got that disc back in a hurry. So some more knockouts up high. There's King with a disc. But again, some brawls going on. Left, right, and center. So it does get stuck here at the center. Smoke coming through with a quick tap, and that'll just be a self-pass just about. King will take it, King will send it, and Draco will make it. Will make go. Well, they go up by 4 for Hot Drop.
11, 10, 9, 8, 7.
So yeah, on stream tonight for this second Channel 1 block. Starting here again, Ruin Kings and Hot Drop. Following this one, we'll have Anarchy versus Insanity, another Diamond Division game there. Following that, another Diamond Division game, and Spartan versus Hivemind. And then a Silver Division match between Arsenic and Rebrand.
Clears it out of their zone.
So, yeah, lots of matches. And just getting started here. Trying to get started on their offense are the Ruin Kings. Down by 4, about 3.5 minutes in. Definitely, they've been able to get it to the Hot Drop side quite a few times for Ruin Kings, so they've had chances to get it into this zone, but really unable to get it all too close to the bubble as of yet. Trying to make that happen here will be a shot, but just dinging off from Cameron, so close, but no cigar. And now Draco looking for a victory lap as they lap up the disc and then run laps across the floor. I guess fly laps. Either way, it's going to be taken up here, not taking any naps on the defense. There's Farting Crab again trying to defend, but King, once again, they're up by 6. And I bring up Farting Crab because, as was the case last season, you know, Farting Crab definitely a talented defender inside that goal. One of the numerous great goalkeepers that have cropped up in the league here over the last couple seasons. And really over the last... more so the last couple of years, but yeah, a lot of talented defenders for sure. There's Farting Crab, speaking of, with a disc, and sending it over to Cameron. So now maybe a chance to get their first points. I mean, despite the fact that momentum is on Hot Drop's side, they're only up by 6 points. I mean, you're, again, just 1 or 2 shots away from this being a very close game still yet. So you know, that's kind of the thing about the two-point game, right? When you're taking a lot of 2-pointers, and like they have been for Hot Drop, is can make a lot in a row, but they can be kind of erased in a hurry, as Cameron will erase that one and place it right into that tunnel, clearing it. Now that's going to actually go pretty close to the goal, the barrier barely getting in the way, so they're going to be happy for that on Hot Drop. But see what I mean? Had that got in, that's the lead already cut in half instantly. So Cameron with the disc again, they're going to have some more chances, just like Hot Drop. Ruin King's spacing, pretty good overall. Just that one extra pass couldn't quite make it. That could have gotten them their first goal. But now the defense trying to accommodate as the offense resets. Ruin Kings still at it. There's Slater at the boot for Ruin Kings and ruins that goal. Not really, it was perfect. It was Slater getting the first 2. I guess bringing Hot Drop to ruins, if nothing else. But Hot Drop still smoking with the 4-point advantage. I got 4:22 left in this first round.
3, 2, 1.
And what's up again in the chat there to Hecken? Did I say hi to Hecken? I think I already said hi to Hecken. And Swift with a door. I appreciate that, and Meatballer as well. And Crazy Kit with the hydrates. In just a moment. I shall. Of course. Gotta do better of that, huh? Especially with 4 in a row. You're gonna be listening to Horsador after a few of these matches. That said, over here to King. King's gonna walk it up, but gets stunned. Cameron, some good defense right at the edge of that bubble. Slater sending it left lane. That stack is well prepared, so they can bring it ever the more close, within 1 or 2 maybe. Let's see. Will be taken back though off a miss. Cameron there, the punches and punches it in. Right on the time card. There's still a few minutes left, and they're within 2. Great timing for a Ruined Kings run in this second portion of round 1.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, hydration confirmed. Thank you, Kit. And back to the match is Draco. Over into the bubble, just missing the read. There was smoke, couldn't quite gather that. So back to Toki. Toki from that right lane. That could have been a lead for them had they gotten it. But some good steam being shown. And a lot of gas, obviously, in the tank of Ruined Kings after conceding 3 goals in a row to start off that first half of the match. The last few minutes now has started to be more of a dominant force here for Ruined Kings. They got possession, but losing it to King. King defending the kingdom with his life as Tiny Thug takes it away. Great save, and actually gets it past the midfielder, so costly that shall be, as it will be the 2 for King, end to end. The defense, the offense, they're back up. Double, 8-4.
11, 10, 9, 8, 7.
Oh, new PC, huh? That's awesome, Kit. I just got, I don't have it yet, but I ordered some PC stuff. Essentially an entirely new PC. Won't be building it myself, though. I mean, I would if the situation was better for it, but I got a decent price on, not a pre-built, but, you know, they built it for you. In any case, yeah, I got that coming in the next month or 2, so I'm happy as well. I know Dano McFabulous, one of our other casters and moderators, just got his new PC, as I saw in my DMs just an hour ago, so I can expect some more Dano casts in the future as well. Everyone getting new PC parts these days. HD Smoke over to King. King is gonna make that for the 6-point advantage. No hesitation, and 6 meters out. That's a great goal to put them up enough and give them that buffer to quite possibly take this round now at this point. 90 seconds remaining. Definitely not a done deal yet, but that's going to certainly help the case because this does put Ruined Kings in the position where they will need to make a quick run and probably shoot some 3s. Unless they can get an extremely quick 2, but really at this point that time is just about passed off of these turnovers and the disc getting lost at midfield. So back to midfield will be tapped out there. Hot drop, another attempt maybe at some points. Farting Crab in the back line over at the goal will take it back. So yeah, less than a minute left, down by 6, and now certainly some 3s would be pertinent if they can get it back. The goal is actually open for just that, and they make it. Cameron, it's in. They're within 3, 10-7. Big shot, and that is a big give up for Hot Drop, who, you know, purely if they had left one person in the goal, I often go to that in the last minute where I say, hey, if you're up by, 3 points or more in the last minute of play, you want someone just sitting there in the goal, able to accommodate it, because you want to force that opposition to have to score 2 or 3 times. So that's definitely a unfortunate giveaway, but now Hot Drop doing the smart thing and not rushing anything. They're forcing Ruined Kings into the front line, and for Ruined Kings, they kind of spent too much time there not getting on the disc, so that could prove really costly, but let's see. 8 seconds left, and a 3 will be heaved, but not made. Rebound from Toki, they can go for it, and saving it. What a huge clutch grab. King, and that was kingly, that was knightly. And here tonight on VRML 1, what a save to take it and secure it for Hot Drop. That was look at that, right in the teeth of the defense. Clutch. Hot Drop take the first round on the otherwise flawless Ruined Kings in terms of that record, 8-0 so far. So now Ruined Kings on their heels with their biggest challenge yet, looking to take this one back somehow and force a round 3 if they can. All right, so first round in the books there. Of course, your stats, as always, courtesy of IgniteVR.gg. I think I put in the wrong scores. Let me fix that real quick. It was 10-7. But yeah, so excellent round from a hot drop. Ruined Kings, they made a fight of it, to say the least, and they got it really close. That was as good a look as any. I mean, the clock winding down, a couple defenders right up in the goalie's grill. So the fact that that was saved is just credit to the defense. But you know, Ruined Kings had a good chance. They had a good chance.
Round starting in.
Yeah, see Smooth right in there talking about can't get a 30-80 for my life. Yeah, I had to settle for a 30-70. And again, too, I can't even. It's not like I'm getting it right away either. I mean, it's I won't be seeing these my new PC until probably early May, maybe late April. Who knows? It'll be a little while, but what can you do? That's the situation these days. I'm happy though. I got all my parts essentially, actually a little bit below retail for all that I got, so I was pretty happy with that. But that said, over here to the second round, and King, who's very happy off the first round, loses an arm. Doesn't matter. The one-arm bandit returns. Looks like it. Hot drop on the board first. Smooth right in asking how I fix the stuttering issues. Well, as far as the in-game performance, so I'm still getting those. Kind of the static, the crackles, as you might be able to hear in the gameplay audio sometimes, but as far as the rest of it, aside of adjusting settings, one of the helpful things is Echo's spectator mode is actually attached to your monitor's refresh rate, the FPS. So if you have a high refresh rate monitor, hold on, because refreshing themselves for the first 2 points, it's Slater. But if you have a high refresh rate monitor, you want to go into NVIDIA settings, the control panel if you have a NVIDIA card, I suppose, and limit your frame rate. Because otherwise, mine was rendering at 120 or 144. So I had to go manually put it to a 90 hertz cap, 90 frame cap on Echo, and that was enough to kind of squeeze back some performance points in my favor. Anyway. Alright, so up here to King, we'll lose a disc to 3 different defenders, so that was going to be a tough recovery for sure. But recovering is Draco, so they're going to have another go at it. Up top, bouncing right past King's hands, but recovers once more. Oh, the diver there! Farting Crab thought he had some time, and he may have, but King just able to maneuver around and find the open goal. So putting them back up by 2 for Hot Drop.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Alright, so Farting Crab over to the sidelines. That's going to squeak through the defense and get eventually to Toki. Toki back to the backboard. Not able to get that, but it bounces perfectly to Slater, who is in great position. So over to Toki, also in good position. I love the spacing on the floor here. You see, even if they're missing these shots or these passes, just because of the spacing, they're able to still be there for the bounces, the recoveries. And because of that, it'll be Toki putting them into a tie. 4-4 in round 2. And again, round 1 ending there 10-7 right at the end. Was looking like an overtime might have been on the way, but great denial from King had put a stop to it with a save at the very end. Ruined Kings here, the 8-0 record. Hot Drop had an 8-0 record just before their first loss the other night. But point is, both these teams having great success. They know what it takes. Slater almost getting the take on that, but just gets by. Once again, we've seen that a couple times here now. But puts Hot Drop up by 2 points regardless.
8, 7, 6, 5.
But yeah, Hot Drop essentially trying to be spoiler and playing that same role that Inverted did against them. You know, they want to hand Ruined Kings their first loss. For Ruined Kings, obviously this would be a fantastic test for them here, as they will be kind of on the edge of that Diamond division, and if they can beat this Diamond team, as that will go in right into the rough. This time off of Smoke, it seems.
11, 10,
So tied up. 6 minutes left, 6-6.
6,
That's some evil symmetry for you.
3,
Ominous. As you might also see there in the front row, fans by the by, just for those who aren't, who didn't catch it, devs for that extension did update it, so now names and that will show for 20 days. So much preferred over the five days of before. Just an FYI for you guys. There, though, is Smoke, and nice handoff past the King. I like that. Now, Farting Crab diving, already seeing the kind of outnumbered situation. There are only so many ways that play could have gone, so trying to take the defense a little off guard with a quick dive, but that said, found the right pass because of it. King gets him back up by 2 for hot drop. All right, Farting Crab now over to that left tunnel. Slater. That's going to be a clear that just bounces, actually, right back to Smoke. So turnover could be costly. Tiny Thug almost goes in. Wow, that would be Draco, though. And again, an outnumbered situation in the goal, and easy does it for King into the bottom there. Farting Crab having a tough time of things, mainly because on a lot of these drives, several of them, Farting Crab has been kind of left to defend against multiple defenders. So I think for Ruined Kings, they're only down by 4 points. They're still in good position, but definitely it would be to their benefit to get some stacks faster if they can and get back on the defense, because to have 2, 3, 4 offensive players for hot drop all there attacking a lone defender in the goal is not going to be very conducive towards a victory for sure. So that's something they're going to have to address mid-round here, and they still certainly can, because as I said, they're not down by too much. In fact, they can bring it back within a couple points if they execute this play. There's Toki trying to do just that over to the boot. Slater, a little bit of a duck, but a take from Draco Mako. Great snag, nonetheless. Farting Crab, the grab back to Cameron from that backboard area, just below it, in fact. Missing that, as it will be a tough angle, so digging out the post, but another rebound. If there's one thing Ruined Kings have definitely been doing very, very well, just the same as spacing out, because despite some misses, they've been able to get it back and back again because of their great positioning. There it is again. So another tough miss that time, but another rebound. So this will be, what, the 4th attempt? 5th, maybe? It's been going on and on, but staying persistent, and that's what you need to do. Not worry about the mistakes, just worry about the next play. Toki inverting, Toki dishing out, but once again, just nearly unable to make a goal, and with that, looking for some punish off of a bounce. That's gonna hit the nugget. So yeah, Ruined Kings, they had a lot, and I mean a lot of great attempts. And just tough on the finishes, needing to, or trying to paint those corners, but every time just going off the corners instead and digging a couple times or off the backboard. So now they're in a position where they have to defend, which is oftentimes going to be a tough task. Fortunately for them, they do have all the players in here. A nice headbutt from Slater. Everyone in the goal was stunned. That's going to stick here in the goal and going to sail right out. Rebound also sailing out from King. It is frantic inside the bubble now on this end of the floor as well. We saw it once, we saw it twice, and Slater doing the nice work on defense. That's a steal, that's a clear, and that is a gather as it actually sails into the trap, taken back by Smoke. So wow, both teams having trouble scoring in this chaos, and there it is for Cameron. It took an extra minute or 2, but they've got the 2, and they're within 2. As far as time, well, we've got 2:30. And 10-8, hot drop back at the, offensive joust with a narrow lead. And kind of similar to where we were last time around. A reminder that round 1 ended 10-7, so very close at the moment. A big steal maybe about to be had. See, snatched here in the bottom of the floor though by Draco, who's been pretty active on the defense. Now, Tiny Thug with the disc will clear it, bouncing it off the bottom of the tunnel. Meanwhile, King picking it up. Now that goal is open, the ding, and maybe the second attempt. No, Slater is able to get there in time before sending it to the trap. Now Draco's able to gather that clear haphazardly. Will be sent now to King. 143. We did see, as a great grab goes from Cameron, who also gets stunned in the process. We did see in the first round, Hot Drop was willing to stall out in the last possession or two when they had that lead. So curious to see if we see more of that here with 1:30 left. Once if Hot Drop regains possession, if they're just going to opt for some more stalling. Toki there kind of slapping it, might have had an extra second. Will be a turnover going to Draco. Now Farting Crab playing in the back line. Another great steal. We've seen a lot of them, but the make not quite there. Taken back by Cameron. We've seen some phenomenal grabs, interceptions, steals, etc. Not just the saves, but just the straight up steals out of close range in the air. Now, speaking of there, It's King. Draco sending it, and King will finish 12-8, 4-point advantage. And Ruined Kings, they're in much danger at the moment of dropping their first match here in Season 3. 37 seconds left, and they're going to have to score twice and in a hurry. So Hot Drop trying to hold on to it. Farting Crab deep down the line. Farting Crab once again, that's going to be sent off into the corner. Bouncing high, bouncing low, and the time is unfortunately going to be out. That shot almost in. Will be unintentional, but yeah, almost sailing in off of the stun. Farting Crab now over to the boot, so time for one more score at the very least, but another denial, this time coming in from Smoke. With that, no more time on the clock, and Ruined Kings will take their first loss of the season, much similar to Hot Drop, who does play the spoilers this time around in a extremely competitive 2 rounds of play, but Hot Drop able to give them their first defeat and continue what they've been doing so far this season, 12-8. Still well played for both teams. We saw in those last few minutes, it got caught up quite a bit around the bubble. A lot of shot attempts, just not a lot of conversions. Now, but with that, to the score screen again there, courtesy IgniteVR.gg. And I'll leave you on there for just a second, but I do have another match coming up right now, so I'm going to be on silent for a moment while I redirect to the next one. So do stay tuned, because we have Insanity coming up next. In more ways than one, which is to say Insanity and Anarchy. Alright, hello again everybody, welcome back to the stream. We've got insanity about to happen, we've got some anarchy as well. They go hand in hand, so give these teams a hand. Meanwhile, I'm your man, Palidore, and on the cams. Didn't really get that set up the last round, but I'm here, don't you worry. Lighting's a bit rough, isn't it? A little bit rough even. Quick shout out to ATLX Twitch. Is there a better way to say that? I don't want to get the names wrong. But thank you for the Prime. Appreciate that very much. 3 minutes ago. As well, shout out to PikaBlue08. PikaBlue, I see you. Thank you for the follows as well. And those hydrates from Crazy Kit. Good stuff, good stuff. All right. So, yeah, what's up, Porker? Cheers. Appreciate it. All right, we got, Anarchy, we got Insanity. We've got the match about to start right now, so don't mind me. We're going to the first round. Let's see, where's my controller? There you are. Okay, so these teams here in the Diamond Division, we have yet another one after this as well in the Diamond Division following. So a lot of great stuff tonight. It's your second of 4 matches. We have Slads here with the maybe first points, but couldn't get it. Hunter Valley with a disc, Hunter Valley with a clear. So over on Insanity, we have Chewy Stack. We've got Lolo Slads and BG. Rip Red, the BFG. That's a big friendly shot though. Giant 3 to get them their first few points for Anarchy. And speaking of Anarchy, it's Shade, Rip Red, Ryruff, and Hanavelli on the roster tonight. Of course, also have Cade P and Lufu on the roster. And shout out to, on the other side, I know Glean also on the roster here. Along with Salvo for Insanity. So a lot of familiar names. Of course, Glean, one of our casters, great casters here in VRML Season 3. Did venues as well the other week with us. And at the moment, Chewy Stack directing traffic. A lot of stacks getting stuck over at the pack. So all the meanwhile, that's gonna allow maybe it's open goal after the stack does break away. And taken here by Hanavelli. A shout out as well to Bergie Boy joining in there. And do see Lufu in fact as well. Glad to have you guys. Smooth Riding saying top tier caster. Glean, indeed. Over here though is Shade. Definitely some smooth casting anytime he's on the stream. And right now they're going for the disc, piling up again. Back and forth are these teams. Only one score on the board so far. Maybe some more about to happen, but mishandled there. Rip Red and Hanavelli both stacked on the disc, but actually knocked it loose right out of each other's hands. Now it's going to be close to the goal. A no-go, but a rebound looks good. There's BG. And they get D2. In fact, see in the chat as well, yeah, a lot of the players across these rosters in the chat. So good to see them. Good to see them. Cheer on their teams that already had the prediction poll ran. Aren't you guys proud of me? It took like an entire month, but I'm almost always remembering to do it now. Before anyone even has to ask. Now, as far as ending the poll after the match ends, that still takes me a minute or two. But at least before the matches start, I'm remembering now. So I'm halfway there. All the way there, though, was a stack. Chewy Stack, to be specific, but unable to make the goal. Hanavelli taking it back here and trying to back that out. Will take a rugged bounce, but Rip Red's there to recover. Rip Red sends it through. That's going to bounce right into the bottom. And had it been a little more to the left, that could have been a goal even. But either way, we're good. They're good. It's 3 minutes. This match is good. Competitive so far, albeit low scoring. Oh, but we now see the disc get lost in a similar way. Going there for Insanity, against Insanity. So now Anarchy will take advantage with that disc. So either team having a few of the mishandles on it will enable some offense going the direction of Anarchy. They got the 1 point advantage, trying to push it up a little bit more, but beyond the reach of Rip Red. Hanavelli, though. Red Slads there and gave him a slat. Or maybe just a slap on the defensive end with a stun. Able to get some spacing now on the floor. Up high, inverted is Rip Red with one more, but just losing that disc. Not sure if that was just a lost disc or maybe an intended pass, but miscommunication to where the teammate was. But either way, they're going to make up for it in a hurry. Not a big deal. Shade with a disc, and Now Hanavelli, but another one of those where just gets lost. I'm not sure if the grips are loose tonight or what, but that said, another unforced error. Both teams kind of having that, unfortunately. But Shade, great grab, just Statue of Liberty style. Held the hand up like a torch. Now trying to torch that defense as they go back to the orange end. Now the defense able to recover the overshoot there from Anarchy. So unable to capitalize initially. But Ruff over to that side. Hanavelli being contested very well by Lolo on defense. Chewy Stack as well, aggressively playing up. See in the chat as well, Goku and Irish stopping in. Welcome to the stream as well. Ruff here with a disc. Definitely having some rough times for either team now, gaining control. Because a couple of those, again, unforced errors, but I think the fortunate thing for both teams is, despite them, neither team has been punished for them. So both trying to find their rhythm, and that's going to happen sometimes, right? It takes a few minutes for teams to work their way into a groove. At the moment, though, just on a brawling tear in that midfield. See, Rip Red. Lolo able to get that disc from Chewy Stack, nicely delivered before the stun. Now on the clear, that's going to bounce a few different ways. The first stack arriving, it's Ruff for Anarchy. And they will eventually gather that disc and clear it, but intercepted by Chewy Stack. Chewy a deep one over to Lolo. Lolo has Slads over on that shoulder calling for it, as well as BG, and couldn't find that shot, unfortunately. So low scoring first round at 4.5 minutes left. For me, I only feel like a couple minutes has passed, so I'm even surprised by the fact that we're already more than halfway through. It's definitely been chaotic, and that's the promise, right? We promise insanity. We promise anarchy. We've got that in multiple facets for you here on stream at the moment. Shade with a swing around grab before trying to wait for the teammates to go through the tunnel and maybe offer some spacing on some passes. There's Shade with a pass over to Ruff. From the side to the peck. Rip Red couldn't get it, but Ruff will get it back. So Shade with the disc again, and just the 1 point advantage for Anarchy. Yeah, at this rate, any points for either team could mean very, very good things. Oh, but Shade couldn't find the goal. Kind of did a hesitation move, not sure what they were going for. Hanavelli taking it back. There's the cross cutter to Rip Red, but a little beyond his reach as well. So the goal just being ironed shut here, sealed shut, it seems like, as BG tries for another clear. And will be recovered by Hanavelli. Now the goal is open, and Lolo says, I got this. Might have taken 4.5 minutes, but they got it. That was stressful, I think, for both teams, just trying to find, again, that rhythm to their game. A lot of these offbeat plays happening. A lot of beating up, that is to say, though. I mean, plenty of stuns and steals, but just as far as the goals go, they were a bit of a scarcity. But now, as the cap is kind of rebroken on this round, we'll see if we get a faster one this time around in this joust. I wouldn't be surprised. You do tend to see that oftentimes. Once a drought is broken, the next ones come along a lot quicker. So Rip Red trying to quicken that pace over to Shade. Shade from that route, sending it right below the goal. Bouncer will eventually reach Rip Red. Rip Red off that side. Too tough on the angle. We'll find perhaps Hanavelli here on an eventual gather. Just actually now same momentum. So Hanavelli deciding to take a little tap boost off of Slads with a punch and then the boost into the disc. So very decisive from Hanavelli to get them the disc back, and that's a nice job from Anarchy. Meanwhile, Insanity holding on to that 2-point advantage with 2 minutes left, trying to defend against this one. See, these players all very well spaced out, and just trying to zone out is that defense. Everyone arriving at the tunnel about the same time. 5, 6 different players, and clear now will get to Shade. So Anarchy back at the offense again, it would seem. A soft hand up to Ruff over to Shade. Shade right back to that side, outer edge of the bubble. Couldn't make anything though, but Rip Red is going to be there just in case. There's an option for a pass. And they will split up, so I do like that positioning here from Anarchy. You can see they're not trying to get caught up in the piles. We're just waiting for a recovery, and then they get the disc. With that, one more pass. There's the finish, softly from Ruff to Hanavelli. Not Rye rough at all, that was Rye smooth and Hanavelli. There you go, only a minute and a half expired in that since that last joust, and because of that we have ourselves a tie in the first round.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Alright, so Lolo on this launch here to Slads now. Slads from that sideline, less than a minute left. Next goal could likely be a game winner at the rate it's been going. Let's see. That open goal? Could it be? No, in a hurry though, as the stacks recovering as well. The shot was off, and now contesting over on the wedge will be taken by BG. BG to the boot. Lolo working it up the floor and does get it to go. 7-5, 2-point advantage going to Insanity with less than 30 seconds remaining. Closer to 20 or so. Not a lot of time. Anarchy does have some, just not a lot of it. We'll see what they do. Quick launch will be a necessity. So there's Shade. Shade over and just missing the reach, but actually that might pay off after all. Hanavelli gonna work it up the floor. A 1-on-1 for the tie. Eyes down the defender from behind and says, hey, now I got this. And we've got an OT on the way in the next few seconds. So I'm not even sure if that rollout was the way they intended or not. It looked like they were trying to go for that mid lane pass, but you know, because of the way that those players were spaced out, it still went to the right place by the end of it. So I'm sure they're not going to complain too much for Anarchy, that is, because hey, it still worked out. Effectively was a 1-on-1. There was a defender on the feet of Hanavelli, but on the whole, had enough time to just line it up and walk it up on the goalie for a great hit. So we do have a pause here for one reason or the other, as you see. So very stressful pause, right before the sudden death, in fact. All right, well, with that, yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, it's kind of funny how it worked out, though, right? Took, what, 4 minutes or so, as I recall. I mean, it took a long time to get those... that goal in that one drought. You know, we had a couple early goals and there was several minutes of nothing. Then the cap was rebroken and then we got, a few goals in just a short couple minute span. Just like that, so. Sometimes you just need to see the disc go through. A mental barrier in a sense, right? But once you see it go, it's go time. You're back in it and you're back scoring again. Now, to the Twitch chat there. See Bergie boy in the chat asking me to say some stuff. That's awfully rude though. I've never heard of such a thing. Hana smelly. Say what? There was nothing smelly about that play. Unless you're talking about the instincts to just make it happen and tie it up. I mean, I thought that goal from Insanity with 30 seconds left, I thought that was likely to be a game winner, you know, because of the amount of time and the pace of that game, but you know, never say never as a caster, right? Because then you'll be served up with stuff you've never seen before. And there's been a lot of times like that this season so far. A lot of things that I haven't seen before that I have seen. You know, I've seen the headbutt 3 off of a rebound, that is to say. I've seen who was that who took it? Gunny Saw. That was the first one who did it. Back about a month ago. High Voltage just last week. They showed me that the first time I've seen a shot, bounce shot made this style was Goran Jr. made it was right here on the outer edge of bubble. Shot it right off the shoulder, bounced right into the feet of the goalie, and that was just last week. And that was the first time I've seen that shot made in a VRML game. So like I said, yeah, even 4 years later, just about. You still get new things happening on stream. That said, we got a new, well, not round, but overtime on the way. So after that brief pause, let's see who this actually benefits more. I'm not really sure. Not often you see kind of the pre-overtime pauses. So off this joust, going to be a little frantic. The goal is open, but too high on the shot, just had to release that disc immediately. Lolo and BG are there for recovery, and they're gonna send it. Now need to find their stacks. Ryruff doing good to break the stacks up, however. Lolo is still going to be there for a rebound. Now Lolo working up the floor, has a cutting option. That was going to be a tough pass though on Chewy Stack. Was moving very, very quickly. Ryruff with a disc. Ryruff being stunned. And now BG trying to stun Shade and Hunavelli, but Hunavelli taking that. And sensing some blood in the water. Hana smelling some blood in the water. They're going to be vaulting for that disc. A big stun there for Ryruff. And now Slads is going to contest. But Ryruff, oh, a narrow miss. That's going to ding off the post right on the bottom. That was so close. Another attempt for Ryruff. And a big grab. Chewy Stack. That is immensely clutch. And we've seen some clutch plays here tonight. So now on the recovery, BG over to Chewy perhaps. No, rebounded from Slads, and the game overtime was had. Wow, what a stack. All the players arriving in the perfect position for a rebound as well. First round going Insanity's way. 9-7 in overtime. All right, so with that, might have heard the buzzer. Got another timeout taken, it would seem here. So, Echo Cameron in the Twitch chat there asking about the scores from the last game. I don't recall, but you can check it out on the VOD. Even though we're still live, you can still watch replays of the stream while it's still live. So if you go to the videos tab here on channel 1 and click on the currently broadcasting stream there, you should still be able to rewind it over to the score screen there and pick up those scores from the last match. With that, I shall indeed hydrate real quick. Thank you, thank you. Cheers. All right. So, round 2, hopefully on the way soon. Again, we do have 4 matches in a row scheduled. Might be running a little bit, well, definitely will be running a little bit late after this one, regardless, but, so, you know the drill. If those teams are in there, again, Diamond Match next, Spartan and Hivemind, so if they're in the Twitch chat, you know how it goes. Can wait, or you can start, but if you give me invites, I can still join late and cast you either way. So yeah, that'll be next, Spartan and Hivemind. Following that, we will also have a match between, again, presuming we're not too delayed and they do wait, we have Arsenic and Rebrand will be making their stream debuts here on Channel 1 for the season. In the Silver Division, so happy to get those teams in as well. And yeah, we'll be happy to get along to them as we can. But for now, these teams just, again, taking a pause. I think maybe less of a tech issue, just more so maybe to breathe. Take some hydration of their own. I know you can't redeem hydration rewards for the teams, but they could use it. In the chat as well, see Juby Man. Hey Palidore, Manifold Max. Hope you know who it is when you see Juby Man. What happened to Manifold Max? Why aren't you Manifold Max anymore? Maximore. What? You name changed. Just like the name changed 420 in the chat there. Let's see, Smooth Ride in there as well. Chewy Stack actually in the Twitch, so maybe Chewy gave some updates. I'm not sure. Yes, correct, Chewy. You are winning currently. Yes. Let's see, Lufu saying put me in, coach, and actually now side eyeing the game. Yeah, I see Lufu did hop in there. So hey. Tiny Thug also. What's up? Yeah, we just streamed Hot Drop Dropbox. And that was a very fun game to watch as well. The last one right before this match, we had the Hot Drop match versus Ruined Kings, and that was a great one as well. You know, came down to some big clutches, suffice to say. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I didn't say Hotbox even once in that match. Pretty sure. No guarantees though. If I do, you can slap me virtually or something. I don't know. But yeah, I made sure I wasn't lying. I have dry erase tape on my monitors. I don't use it as much as I used to, so I probably should more. But yeah, I just have these little dry erase strips, and it's right on the top, like on the border of my monitors, right here, basically. So, you know, I write down, not as much as I used to, but I do write down like team names. It helps you keep track, especially when you're doing like multiple matches back and forth. It's easy to get your wires super crossed, and occasionally even call teams by the teams you were streaming the last time around. So, you know, little casting pro tip, I suppose. You can buy those off Amazon for pretty cheap. So, with it though, we're going to the second round. So, back into it, and let's do it. All right, so me taking here first. Insanity looking to recover. Rip Red, a few jukes, and the rebound from Shade. A lot of moves from Rip Red, but wound up in an assist one way or the other. Shade, the right place, the right time, shot. Only 30 seconds in. So that works out very nice. Irish saying laugh so hard. What, at me calling hot drop hot box? It's literally, it was counter to what people might think. It was because Dropbox. I kept thinking Dropbox. You know, the cloud storage. And then I did the stupid thing and made a pun about it in the middle of the stream. And I said uploading it like a Dropbox, and ever since then, as Lolo uploads a 3-point shot, ever since then it was just downhill from there. But that said, going downhill on the shot from above as Lolo, that was a nice hit to start them off now. So yeah, 3-2. Same start we actually had to the first round, if I do recall. But of course, in the first round, after that initial couple goals, it went silent on the scoring end for several minutes. So we'll see if that plays the same way here in the second round, but I'm expecting it not to. I think these teams are both quite warmed up now. And over to the midfield, there's Shade with a disc. Shade has Rip Red at the bow tie, has Lufu on the side, but it will ultimately be Hanavelli by the backboard, attempting to bounce it. Unable to, but Rip Red is there for the recovery. Lufu positioned, going for a bounce cut. Hanavelli, one more cut, and through the defense, Rip Red ripping through. Seeing red, and actually seeing orange. With that, they're back up by 1 point. But yeah, so it was my fault with the whole hot drop stuff in a way. First of all, my head was a little bit I was spaghetti brained that night, admittedly. And then once I made the pun, there was no going back, you know. My wires continued to be crossed. So from now on, I will always write hot drop. Because wouldn't want to make that mistake too many more times, huh? Anarchy here with the disc. Or with the defense, I should say. Talk about mistakes. Now they have the disc, so I was just preemptively casting that one. Don't you worry. Rip Red, though, not in a worry, not in a hurry. They have the cutter. There's Hanavelli walking it up, dinging it off, though. Rebound almost had by Rip Red. We've seen a few of those happen for Anarchy. Just as well for Insanity. These teams really trying to prioritize painting those corners, but as we know and see sometimes, the difference between a great pocket shot and just a rough-looking ding can often be just an inch sometimes, a centimeter even. But inching their way forward, it's Shade. Shade from that outer edge of the bubble, working it in off that anchor, turning around, but missing the goal as well. BG there diving out to contest two different players from Anarchy, but Anarchy will still retain the control. Hanavelli attempting a duck move, attempting a headbutt as well on the disc after the stun. They're still gonna maintain control of the disc. So Insanity now, they're being very bothersome, but they're not able to actually grab the disc here. They will this time though. There's a low. Low though. How low can we go? Pretty low on the pun end of things. I will attempt to wrangle it in. Lufu, though, will wrangle this one, not for too long. BG with a stun. So they're getting down the floor now, and will be taken by Lolo. All right, end to end. Lolo doing some defensive work, and eventually the offensive work. They're back up by 1 point. And that's been the story of this round, of this match, really. All right, so, and yeah, Glad you guys found some humor in it, by the way. Hot drop. Appreciate that. Fun streaming you guys, though. Got the last few in there, so that'll live on as one of those things. Kind of like when Quackheads in Season 1 had that one player named Your Mom. So it was 30 minutes of me calling out Your Mom on cast. Right there, though, it's Lolo able to get the grab off the backboard. So there was a stun on the driver there. And the shot was soft enough off the backboard there for Lolo to pin it off nicely again. So good work from Lolo, but of course, again, credit to the brawler too for really forcing that shot off the backboard. Really made it easier for Lolo to save. And that's what teams are all about. Teammates are all about making each other's lives easier. You know, using each other as your eyes, ears, and otherwise. At the moment, though, a slap going midwise, mid lane into Chewy stack. Chewy slap. That's going to bounce off the corner, and there's a stacks coming in to recover for Anarchy, though. All 4 players. So Insanity there a little bit slow to the gather this time around, but they're going to be there waiting in the midfield. So now forcing a turnover. Well done. Slads as well with a stun. So some big moves being shown, and now the defense is all out of sorts, all out of position. So they need to take advantage of this if they can, but they will not. They're unable to. Could have been maybe a one-on-one at the goal, and a missed grab actually looked like an accidental one. Ripred wasn't even looking, just had the auto grab activated. Might not matter as the disc continues to sail basically from one team's hands to the other, so either way, they're going to be fine. Recovery and attempted clear back into the trap, and back into the midline again. Really getting stuck in here in this area quite a bit, back and forth. But yeah, it was Quackheads, they had that player. It was a fun cast for sure. You love moments like those. That's that Chewy stack here. They would love to score, and that's a great delivery to BG. Posting it up and scoring it up to the tune of a 3-point lead with less than 4 minutes left. Now Insanity had taken that first round 9-7 in an overtime situation. And if it's up to them, they're not looking for an OT. They want to close it out in 2. But Anarchy is still right within reach. And just trying to get this one going. You know, this is a team in Anarchy who on any given day, it doesn't surprise me if they put up, you know, 20 points in a round. So lower scoring by their standards at the moment, but that is to say, at any given moment, they can turn it up another few levels and be right back in this game. They could be right back in the lead. Trying to do that right here. Shade looking for maybe a cutter. No, just a stutter steps. Dashes past the defense and a dashing move to bring them back within a point. 7-6. Insanity's still in a lead, but not by much. Joust advantage going to Insanity as well now.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I rush in there hoping for the 3rd round. And what's up, Flair? Welcome to the stream as well. How fare thee? How flare thee? Slads here. Does see the teammate there, BG. I still have a tendency, you know, talk about things that I pronounce sometimes oddly or wrong. I still have this tendency to want to pronounce his name as Bagdash. It makes sense to me. But BG it is. Chewy stack with a disc. Needs to get that to Lolo and does so just before the stuns. Now, Rip Red. Oh, what a move from Lolo. Lolo really showing a lot of clever moves and some great reflexes defensively and brawl-wise. Now, using the passing eyes and the passing lane, but couldn't find the teammate there quite the way they wanted. So a turnover, bouncing high and bouncing into the bubble. Some lightly boosted players. No stacks really, but just some boost. Single boost. That said, maybe a single shot from Hanavelli. Getting that goal to go. And I guess shout out to single shot as well on that note. Wherever single may be.
7, 6, 5, 4.
Of course, that was earlier tonight. Ethereal playing Joker. But that said, a 1-point advantage here. Going to Anarchy. So I said it, and then they did it. They weren't far out of reach for Anarchy, and with a couple goals there, they took a lead. Could increase it there had it not been for BG in the way. So BG the clear. I like that stack already. Well prepared. They got an avenue and will take it, pass it, and send it. No, and losing the handles on the disc, but still getting it back. There's Slads, has Chewy on the backboard, but getting chewed up by the defense. Still yet the recovering is Chewy stack and brings it right from below to a 1-point lead. Insanity back at the advantage. And Anarchy back at their heels with less than a minute. Familiar territory to where we were in round 1 at this juncture.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, so off this joust, Lufu with a disc. Hanavelli, very important that they maintain control. They're going for that dribble move. They don't actually get some regrabs, might not matter. 24 seconds left, and slapped on out of there. And that's gonna be recovered by Hanavelli. So this is it, down to the wire, big plays all around, no matter what happens here. Utterly important that they get something going and going fast. We'll talk about Joker trains, and there it is. It's Hanavelli gonna bring it to a round win and a third one along the way. What a way to end it in the boldest of fashions. Anarchy, they're up.
This round is over. Blue has it this time.
And what a way to go for a Joker train, decide to have that be your clutch play to end it. Oh, that's bold. But oh, was it gold? Or diamond, as the case may be. All right, so back to the score screen, and looks like another pause. I know both of you teams are probably in the Twitch chat right now. You're killing me. I got 4 streams, although you're allowed to. You're allowed to. Don't mind me. I'm just complaining. I'm not. No pressure. You can pause. I'm not in panic or anything. All right. So with that said, though, we do have again coming up next. I think. I didn't actually catch if someone in the chat from their teams had shown up there, but we do have potentially Hive Mind versus Spartan as well. After that as well. I lost my place here. Will be the stream debuts over in the Silver Division, and we will have continue to search for it eventually. Arsenic, that's right, and Rebrand. But so at this point, this can be expected to probably be delayed a bit if either of you guys are in there. Actually, maybe I'll use this timeout to type at the teams. That would be a good idea. So give me just a moment. I'm gonna go on silent.
Round starting in.
All right, there we go. Sorry about that. I was just typing at the next teams on stream in the chat just to make sure for posterity they're all informed of where we are timing wise. So hoping to get all of them streamed, of course. Round 3 though, happy to see it. It's been a competitive one, exciting one. Some clutch plays from both teams in rounds 1 and then 2 towards the end for sure. I mean, anytime you get those game winners, you get those overtimes, things like that. It's exciting. It's exciting. And it looks like Spartan and Hive Mind are waiting, so that's good news. Thanks Alduin there in the Discord. So cool. Yeah, I didn't die. Don't worry. I was just typing. If I type and talk at the same time, then everything dies. I'm very bad at that, so you know. But with that. Back to Rip Red here for Anarchy, being contested by Lolo. He's been playing very well again in the defensive lane, really bothersome. Now that is actually going to be out into the bubble. No boost coming, no stacks I should say coming in, except for finally from Anarchy. But you see a lot of players there kind of floating down the floor and unable to get that speed. So with that, the disc does get lost here. There's Lolo with Slads on the pass and decides to dunk it right at the feet. Walking it in from the tight angle. I'm going for that high percentage goal. Tough to save those. Sometimes even if the hand is in the right space, still can be tough to save those. If there's enough power being swung into it. And Lufu in there saying, pause because Hana's heater is on and he's dying. Like I said, no pressure. I understand the heat. The whole heat situation. Believe me, I'm always boiling in here. Not only because I live in AZ, but because, well, the computer, the cast, the lights, all of it just burns me up inside. But right here, it's Hunavelli. They're trying to wake up inside and find the evanescence of their gameplay if they can. Their team play. Lufu with the disc, sending it over to Ripred. Ripred to the backboard. That was executed very, very well. Just a quick line of a passes. No player held onto that for more than a couple seconds, or even a second. So that was a very well played on their end. Good stuff, good stuff. Also on the note, because I am a super delayed and kind of soloing it, forgive me if I do miss a couple shout-outs or redemptions in there. Try to get to them as we can, but you know how it goes. The moment though, 2-2 in this third round. Goal momentarily open, not for too long. Ripred taking place inside it as Chewy Stack approaches and actually squeezes it through somehow. Well placed though. Right against the pole of the goal. And with that, back up by a couple for Insanity. I got it right? Evanescence, that is the correct band, I think. Wake me up inside, yeah? I don't know. It's been a while since I've heard that song, but I think that's correct. Gotta get those 90 references in there somehow, some way. There's some shade. And they even it up at 4 apiece. And that was a forced piece of pun. What, piece of pie, piece of cake is what I do. For better or for worse. But yeah, great job. Starts this round. Neither team able to pull ahead by more than a couple goals. It's just trading blows here, trading stuns, trading brawls, trading goals, and all the above. 6 minutes left, and 6 minutes and a half left. I want to be super specific, but I don't want to be. At the moment here, it's BG with a pass up top, collected there by Chewy. Chewy has the defense right in the face, though. You see 3 defenders all playing outside that bubble, so going to make it definitely tougher for them to work it up the floor. So that's kind of the push-pull of Echo as well. There's nothing wrong with aggressive defense, right? But the main thing is it has to be impeccable, because otherwise, if your defense has a miscue and the offensive team is able to squeeze it past you, then that often results in those, again, one-on-ones or numbers advantages inside the goal. So it's kind of a risky defensive play style, but a very good one to play if you're confident in it and able to cause the turnovers, which that they do right outside the bubble, diving nicely. Hunavelli now gonna take a bouncer, and no sir, but rebound maybe, and yes it is from a shade. That's another one thrown 6 meters deep this time, and they're back up by 2.
11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
All right, so 5.5 minutes remaining now. And launch advantage going to Lolo and Insanity. Seeing if, much like the last, well, several plays, and just react and score back at them again. But might not be the case, as Lufu is there with a recovery. Just playing those lanes. You have, as well, Ripred and Hunavelli in the midfield. Going for a bounce shot instead. Does not yield the goal, but was still a good look. You see a lot of players in the league really confident and able to make those bouncers these days from any angle. A barrier, really not a barrier of entry for the goal as much anymore because of that. That's a great pass again. That's another backboarded passing play to Hunavelli. Identical almost to what we saw earlier. Same spot, same player, same finish. And they're up by 2 points. Anarchy now will be the first team to actually pull ahead by more than 1 goal. See how that plays off for them for the remainder of this round. 4:23 and a big stun and a bigger 3. Shade gets another goal for Anarchy, and they do it in just about no time flat. Suddenly, whereas only a minute or 2 ago it was 4-4, and yet now 11-4. A big scoring spurt from Anarchy. Now Lolo to the side. Slad's being stunned again, so similar play as we just saw. Insanity has to be careful because they are not out of this match yet whatsoever with, 340 left. They got plenty of time, but they cannot get unfocused, which would be easy for, any team to do, of course. You have a few things go against you. Taking its little mental toll at times, and the momentum shifts, and it can be a tough thing to deal with for anyone and everyone. But the big task for Insanity, who's been having success here, this season, just keep it going. Otherwise, Hunavelli certainly will. They're up by 10. 30-meter shot, or 29-meter shot. Coming out there, 17 meters per second. Hot shot, great finish. Anarchy really looking to start putting this one away now. But yeah, I mean, both these teams, a super successful season thus far. Insanity, the 14-10 record. So nothing to shake a stick at. They've won 3 of their last 4 matches. But for Anarchy here, as they nearly get another goal to go, they're 11-4 on the record. They've won their last 3 in a row. Rip Red trying to line one up. And swinging, and ringing it in. It's going to be Hunavelli. Up triple in the 3rd round.
11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
All right, so this one winding down, and looks like on the end of Hivemind and Spartan, they will be starting here right about now, it seems. So this one's almost over, but I'll join that match in progress. We shouldn't miss more than a minute, I imagine. But just to keep you guys updated, we'll get that in line. And coming up next on stream. At the moment, though, definitely for Anarchy and Insanity, coming down to the wire in the first 2 rounds. We had an overtime in there. We had a game winner in round 2 from Hunavelli, I believe it was. I got the goldfish brain going on, but we had some stellar clutch plays, but this one just getting a bit away from Insanity. Remember back in round 1 or round 2 how I mentioned Anarchy is a team on any given night or any given round. I'm not surprised to see them score 20 points. If you recall, they just had that slow start, low scoring first couple rounds. But lo and behold, here in the 3rd round, we're approaching that 20 mark potentially with a minute left for Anarchy. So it took them a little time to kind of work themselves into that game, the speed of the game. But once they did, by the time round 3 came around, it's just it's been completely a endless storm, it seems like, of goals. But with that, BG with the disc, and they're still going to play on this. Of course, points certainly count and certainly matter. They're going to try and bring this as close as they can for Insanity as they go speeding down the floor. Lufu unable to grab that disc, likewise for several players actually all meeting each other right above the goal. Back to the midfield, Hunavelli is there, another recovery, back into the trench, bouncing to Lufu. Lufu a stun, given a bit of a dusty there before they approach the goal. 30 seconds left. Some dancing, some juking, but will not result in the points quite yet. The defense playing out there and trying to stun them. Rip Red, one more take and trying to send that off to the barrier, perhaps. Bouncing it that way, but back into the midfield. The stacks coming in, and coming in hot. There's Slads. Has a shot, maybe, but no. Shade taking it out. And a little bit of, well, shade from Shade. Which I will question. Over there, though, it's 16-4. One more shot, and that will end it.
This round is over.
Happy, healthy, safe, and good to each other. Remember. And 16-4. We'll see these teams again real soon. We're going to the goal or score screen there off of a big scoring effort coming in from Anarchy. And over to round 3. There it is. I'm gonna get to the next match, so on silent mode for a moment. Bear with me. We'll be back immediately with Spartan and Hivemind. That may or may not be varying degrees incorrect. Not round 3, excuse me for that. In fact, it's round 1 still yet, so don't mind that. Rushing into this match, as I said, sorry about that, but we are back in at Grumpiest Broom with a disc. Spartan and Hivemind about halfway through this round, so they did start, understandably, because we're running a bit late there, so they did start a little early, but this is the first round, mind you. It's a close match. Yeah, we're back in it in no time flat, basically. Prediction polls, I know I forgot those. We'll get those shortly, but give me a moment here as Callan is going to send it off to Suprum. Suprum through the right lane and picked off here at the bottom. Actually, everyone overshooting a bit, but will be Callan eventually taking that and sending it to the reset. Now back to midfield, and let me get those predictions actually for you here in a second. Alright, 1 done, and now next poll coming up soon, but take a poll, take a 2, it's Captain Will! With the 8-2 advantage now for Hivemind.
11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Feels a little bit late to start a poll now. Maybe for round 2, how about? How about? But yes, I know. I know, you guys like your points. You like your points. I'll get you a poll. But I mean, for instance, right now, if I started a poll here, would people be voting for Spartan because they're, down by 6? I don't know. I just feel like it's a little bit lopsided. I can still start it, but if no one votes, then what's the use, right? Maybe we'll do like just a round 2 bet, I suppose. Round 2 prediction. That said, right there, just a little off of the goal. Gonna be sent off to the wedge, or to the shoulder, excuse me. And 1 stun and 1 steal. Now Captain Will, right back into the blue zone. That's a deep clear. That's going to be picked here by Titan. Titan now. And taken here, and the pass off to the sideline. Grumpiest Broom with the disc and narrowly missing the Geo. That actually might just bounce the perfect way of the impending stack, but Titan being stunned. Will it matter? No, I'll do in with a goal. Alright, here, I'll tell you what. I'll put the poll up for you real quick. Real quick. I'll put 5 minutes on it, though, so you got time. You can vote however you want to vote. There you go. Make sure you vote for the right one. I'm not sure if I put it on the right site or not. Anyway, back to the round here. It will be Voodoo taking it for Spartan. They're only down by 4 points. They got 3:23 remaining in this first round. Grumpiest Broom is eyeing down the clear, but unfortunately there are 2 midfielders right in the way, and that's going to open up the right of way, maybe for a shot, but missing that one. Grumpy now trying to recover. Kaznaz instead! There's another from a slap up high, wasting no time getting that out of the hands off the rebound. Kaznaz doing well.
11, 10, 9, 8.
Alright, there you go. It's got the polled up. Solar saying it's your VRML career. Yeah. I know. I will continue to enable you. To the great question of my moral innards. But Voodoo here with a disc. Gonna work it up the floor. Has Titan on the cut. Not there for the recovery. Slapping it, though, to the midfield. Looking for some boost by that midline. Taken here by Suprum. Suprum, a deep shot going for the tougher male slot, the bottom slot, if you can call that, if you can call it that. But by the trap will be taken back against Suprum. Captain Will getting it off a reset, and again, narrowly avoiding some Geo to find Kaznaz. The stack's playing hyper-aggressive for Spartan. Stacking right down to the midline before eventually recovering. So, mentioned it in the last match as well, right? Where that's kind of the push and pull of the aggressive defense. Nothing wrong with aggressive defense, as long as you can get back when you need to get back. But Kaznaz is going to take that again. They're up by 12-4 advantage, so... 8-point lead, and well, you kind of see it a little bit there. The first time on defense, Spartan did a good job. They sent a stack midline, but once they were unable to cause a turnover, they stacked right back into the bubble, so they recovered. That time, on that shot attempt, the defense got stunned and stuck at the mid. So what did Hivemind do? They pass it into the bubble, and they got a really good-looking goal. Make it 2 goals now in a row in the last several seconds. So as I said, that's the risk-reward factor for aggressive defense. If you can play it well, you can really bother a lot of teams. But the moment that you get stuck, you know, one of the defenders gets stuck with a stun, that's exactly when the offense wants to press, because then in theory they should have someone in the bubble for maybe some numbers advantages on the offense. So Grumpiest Broom here, down 15-4. They got 1 minute left in this first round, so not going their way so far, but definitely the second round could be totally in the opposite direction, knowing these teams. And you're looking at a Spartan team who made it to the Challengers Cup for Cycle 1. You know, and right on the cusp of those Master Divisions. That said, Hivemind here, they're searching for exactly that as we approach Challenger Cup Cycle 2, you know, in the near future. And Cycle 3 coming along. Obviously, every single win and loss for Diamond and Master teams these days, they matter a ton. Especially the later you get into the cycles.
Interception. Blue clears it out.
But with a... Oh, that's unusual. Anyway, sorry, on my end. I got the reverse audio glitch, but I've never gotten reverse audio as a spectator before. That is highly unusual. Nonetheless, though, 15-4 in the first round. Hivemind is able to take it pretty solidly. It was close for that first half, it seemed, but just a few turnovers here and there and a few punishes later, yeah, kind of blew up the score. All right, so back to the score screen, courtesy Ignite, of course. I'm gonna take a quick hydrate, so give me a second. All right. All right. Yeah, so to address Kevin is cool in the chat there. As chat kind of responded already, but yeah, we stream all ranks as we're able to. For Channel 1 and primetime slots, you know, it comes down to mix of caster availability and preference, as well as hype votes. How many hype votes are given to each match, you know, in these busy time slots on the website. You know, which teams have been streamed recently or not recently, things like that. A lot of factors go into it, but yeah, we do stream all the way from Master to Bronze, as we're able, certainly. And with that, yeah, happy to do so. Of course, Sir Dimwee was in here camming and casting earlier on for Channel 1, the Master matches in prime time. But yeah, definitely, you try to stream as much as we can. Of course, you can redeem those channel point rewards, 15,000 points to get some guaranteed cast, as well as Kaz Naz. Well, they're doing pretty well for themselves to get the first 2 points in round 2. Now, Kaz Naz, who had the good first round and 6 points, as you can see there. And over here, it's Alduin with the disc and launching out for Titan. I still have a habit, I don't know if you guys are noticing, I'm even taking out the mini-map sometimes. As Callan, wow. Forget the mini-map, that's a major shot. Callan, I salute you. 5 points from 29 meters deep. I keep manually triggering the mini-map here, but I don't have to anymore. In the latest update as well, Rad fixed that and changed it, so definitely appreciate Ready at Dawn for that, because yeah, now your minimap will always be visible at the appropriate times on the launches. So now it's just up to me to not accidentally deactivate it, because I'm just so used to the muscle memory of doing it all the time. But anyway, up here though, 5-point advantage to start off for Hivemind, but they can make up for that in a hurry on Spartan's side. They just need a goal here. You know, need to stabilize. Missing that first catch, but Titan's there for a grab. A very, very tough angle. And the defense diving out wisely to make it even tougher. They'll retain possession for a little bit. For how long is the question? It's going to go to the midfield, where it should be retained by Alduin. Now, Alduin has a split second to make a decision there and find the pass to Voodoo. Voodoo, however, being stunned, and Captain Will able to get that disc, send it to Callan. Callan already made that last 3-point heave from around 30 meters deep, but the 3-point will be covered off this time around. But nonetheless, working it up the midfield, bouncing it over to Kaznaz. Kaznaz from the bottom, but couldn't drop it. Rebound to Callan. Callan! Oh, what a move there! This shield, and well, the disc sailing where it needed to go. And that rebounding was Callan. And look, losing the disc, kind of shielding, released it just in time as well, and actually just went off of the dome. Looks like a Balduin. So that's going to definitely hurt Spartan, but only down by 7 with 7 minutes left. They are still fine. They are still fine. Just gotta stabilize if they can, but we know these players and what they can do. Of course, a sturdy test going against the likes of Hivemind. Again, these master caliber players in their own right. Of course, for Supreme and Kaznaz, as recently as just a month and a half ago or so, right? You know, earlier in the season for Redshift. So they've been there, they've done that, which means it will be a big test for Spartan to be able to come up against a team of this caliber in the Diamond Division. But of course, you know, the players here in Spartan, I mean, also multiple players who have been in Master Division as well in their VRML careers. So, that is the say. Not knocking anyone here is a high-level matchup. You're talking players who've been around, all except for Titan, I think. Everyone else has been here for a few years now at this point. Maybe, I'm not sure about Supreme either. I know Supreme was maybe kind of that second or third wave of PC players, but as I recall. But I mean, you know, a lot of veterancy here, a lot of experience. Always a joy to watch these players just doing what they comfortably have been doing at the high level for multiple seasons at this point. And, oh yeah, Alduin as well, of course. I suppose I was conflating seasons with years, because yeah, Alduin was new in Season 1. So I guess now that we're in the middle of Season 3, it almost seems like Alduin's a veteran, but yeah, that's actually very true. Alduin, pretty new in the grand scope of things. But as I said from the beginning, one of those players who definitely showed that tenacity in the defense, and now, you know, filling up every other aspect of his game to become a very strong player in the Diamond Division, right up there with the rest of them. So, you know, it's not just about time, you know, in Echo anymore that dictates who's the best. It's really a mix of time, but also just you see a lot of that natural skill from these players. Able to make up a lot of ground in a hurry as Callan gets the 9 points and had to hurry that shot because there was defense diving out. But still managed to let go and releasing it right into the goal, kind of similar to that last play from the backboard. You know, not a lot of speed behind the shots, but just able to get the release off in time before stuns and just enough to trick out the defense. So Voodoo here with the disc. Of course, you know, Voodoo and Grumpiest Broom, long-time teammates in VRML and beyond, having a lot of success on various rosters. Flair, of course, back since pre-season, Season 1. So strong players for sure, and a lot of high chemistry between those two. Callan there showing the great chemistry to Captain Will. Again, some more familiar players playing on Milk as well. We talk about Callan and Captain Will. So able to put that one home, and 4 minutes remaining, a little bit over that. An 11-point lead for Hivemind. Spartan still not quite able to get it going. We'll see how this goes, though. I mean, 4 minutes left. It'll be tough at the pace that we're going, but not impossible, because these are players who can score very, very quickly and efficiently when they're on, you know, when they're on the roll and on the right wavelength. At the moment, though, just having a tough time connecting. You can see there a couple of back-to-back dings for them. A Grumpiest Broom, there it is, the stability off of some shot fakes. Now, if you don't know Grumpy, you would look at what happened there and you would say, oh, Grumpy might have had a stuck grip button or something. Looked like he had trouble releasing the disc. But no, that's just Grumpy. Grumpy will put in the very stumpy moves, stump-worthy moves on the goalkeepers. A lot of fakes in the pockets, and you never quite know when Grumpy will let it go. But that's a perfect way to get them on the scoreboard with 3:20 left. And now back to a single-digit deficit. And if they can have a turnover caused, you know, more opportunities to just bring it ever the more close. Voodoo trying to wrangle it and do just that, but no, instead Callan there to collect it. But some more disarray in the midfield. That's going to get to Alduin. Alduin has a goal that could be big. A rebound here, just as big. At least a 2-pointer and 4 points for Spartan. Back-to-back from Grumpiest Broom on these plays. Now, they definitely would have loved the 3, but as the important thing is for any team at any level is just being able to always play for the next point. You know, not be bothered by misses, whether it's missed passes or missed shots. You just have to be in the right position to make up for it with a rebound, things like that. And that's exactly what they did. That said, not wasting time was Callan again, and that was a fast release. Blink of an eye and 13-4 for Hive Mind. Blink of a mind, in fact.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
See, Addicts switching there, talking about their team. Oh, good. So you guys are waiting. Yeah, apologies for the delays here, but glad to hear you guys are waiting. Can make that stream debut here soon in Silver. And yeah, the fact that you guys are, you know, a month old and making Silver Division. I mean, as I said, it's super impressive what players are able to do these days, making up so much ground in a hurry. But with that, I'll do it here. They're going to hurry up for the disc. They need to hurry if they want any hopes of getting back in this game. You know, with 1:35 left, time is definitely not going to be on their side, and that one is just off to the side, rebounded by Callan. Callan grabbing it and over to the backboard again, trying to look for that play. Always a wonderfully efficient place to place the passes because it gives you so many options on offense once you get a pass woven there. Now stolen there, Voodoo, but right back it's Captain Will, and there's Voodoo again. So a bouncer off that corner. It's going to be rebounded here by Voodoo. So nearly the self-pass into the goal. That would have been sweet on the highlights. But much to the delight of Hive Mind, no scores, as it will be Suprum sending it to the midfield. Now taken back by Spartan. Voodoo from that corner, off that post, and another defensive stand here this time. Kaznaz, Captain Will both diving. Another one heaved up, trying to hit Grumpiest Broom on a pass perhaps. Voodoo there, one more pass, another great dive from Suprum this time. So Spartan going for excellent passes and excellent plays. You see what the idea was, but it was just the diving priority from Hive Mind that got them back into the defense, got them the steal, the clear, and the goal. Captain Will, 3-point advantage, or 3-point shot for the 16-4 advantage as this round and match will wind down. And Hive Mind definitely have got their eyes locked on towards pushing, towards that Master Division here, if they can. Grumpiest Broom, one more play. Great pass woven down and a shot nearly on the money. Rebound from Titan, one more, and just off the mark. But 2-round win taken here for Hive Mind. 16-4 this time in the second round. All right, so with that to the score screen, and once again, I'm going to be back in just a hot second with your final match. So hopefully I got invites there, or maybe I need to accept some invites. So yeah, we'll be back into it in just the next minute or two, I'm hoping here. And yeah, we'll have your final match of the stream block in Arsenic versus Rebrand. Stay tuned. Alright, hello everybody, welcome back to VR Master League Channel 1, and about to start our 4th stream in a row here. 2 stream debuts, in fact, coming in from Arsenic and Rebrand. So excited to have these 2 teams in Silver Division get the chance to get on stream and get casted as they all surround the disc. This is frightening. That said, on the cast, I'm Palidore, and joining me for this final one is also Nightfire. How you doing, Night? And yeah, what's going on?
Hey, I'm excited to tune in for the final match of the night. It's been a pretty good bit of games I've been tuning in, managing to catch a couple of the rounds. But I'm excited to watch this series and see how it shakes up. It's always good to kind of tune in to these silver, gold, even bronze tier matchups just to see where the skill level is across the league. You know, kind of get an idea of where everyone really lies, and I'm interested to see what kind of plays we're gonna get today. What kind of attacks on the goal we're gonna see? Are we gonna see good passes? Are we gonna see that stack usage? It's the excitement of the unknown, I suppose, Pally.
Yeah, absolutely. Saw some of the these players here in the Twitch chat as well talking about it, mentioning. Scroll up here and just catch who it was too. Mentioning that they, it was a switch. Just saying that they only formed, you know, a month ago or so, and coming into the game, and you know, a lot of new teams, new players. It's been growing just about every week, it seems. I mean, there's like 1 week this season in the middle of it where we didn't get a new team, or like a bunch more teams, and I thought, okay, maybe now we're stabilized, and then no, the next week a bunch more rejoined again, and so we continue to grow, it seems, and that's been the case of this last 14-15 months now.
It's pretty nuts. It's really across the VRML. I'm seeing it in a lot of the individual Discord channels. It just seems to be a consistent influx of new players constantly coming in every day. It's great to see, you know, and again, I'm excited to see what we get out of both of these teams. You know, get both not been casted before, and so as we dive into this round 1 joust, see what we get.
All right, so here we go. First possession off the joust, at the very least, was tapped by Arsenic, running with that roster of Schnaz, Snek, Khan, and Mr. Marcus. Also have Nanotron and Glub on the roster, not playing currently. And over on the other end of things, we have Rebrand, running with Hobo, Toasty Beans, Geo's Not a Furry, and Mix Z as they try to mix it up here into the defense. Khan, the shot, but snagged by Hobo.
Just a great sequence there, a solid bit of defense to prevent the initial attack, and then a great rebound off of that attempted clear where they then set up another attack, and a fantastic save there by Hobo to now eventually result in potentially this clear coming in from the likes of Rebrand, but they're having a tough time getting it out of their zone as the disc floats into the hands of Arsenic. Khan trying to pass it up. That pass goes just a touch wide. Hobo dives out of goal, and they're able to get this rebound.
All right, Toasty Beans getting there as well. Snek and Mr. Marcus for Arsenic trying to pile on it. Toasty Beans looking for that clear. Also, shout out Atlas VR and 015A for also on the roster here, just for Rebrand. And will be Snek with a pass over to Khan, but that was well covered by Mix just on the dive. And that will be Hobo with a clear. Looking for maybe some points, still scoreless yet, and you know, these teams warming up into the mix. That might be the first opportunity, but no, it's gonna be stun, steal, and then right back again to the top of the bubble.
Floating around just on top of the bubble, that great stun there almost gets them possession inside the zone of Arsenic, but Arsenic doing a good job to defend and clear it out of their zone through the midfield, and the disc does float at the bottom half there. A bit of a panicked pass, floats a bit wide, but is ultimately scooped up by Mix, cleared down, and now maybe the attack can get set up from the likes of Reband if they can get this clear down range. The stack's right on top of it. It is scooped up and then re-cleared by the likes of Arsenic, so the back and forth ensuing here.
Yeah, and up top gonna be picked up Hobo looking for a clear through 3 different defenders, all diving on, so managed to squeeze that by. Of course, the tough thing here is those defenders, if they can't get back fast, it might have a 3 go against them. Of course, Schnoz with some stuns right on the Schnoz, I guess, to at least delay the offense from moving up the floor, as Rebrand will still get it back. They're going to pass it off, and will just be sailed out there. Midfielder might have the rebound arriving at the same time. Now pass both of them. Both midfielders kind of eyeing each other as it continues to go into the blue.
Nick's able to get up here and be a little bit of a threat. They have someone in goal as well, so defense is positioned. Hobo's reinforced. He's been there, a solid goalie inside. Hey. As I say that, Schnoz finds himself an angle and threads it in for the first point of the series of round 1. I think it took, roughly 3 minutes to get that one in.
Yeah, it took a few, but now cap is broken and into the rhythm of it. Both these, teams. I mean, you can see they're flying up and down the floor. They're on top of these stacks and these brawls. I mean, definitely lack of scores isn't for a lack of physicality and effort here, because they are really playing aggressively. You can see it again there. I mean, just everyone in the midfield brawling, stunning, and leeching to get their speed into the other end, where it's recovered by Khan, who might be able to do it once again. Oh, with a spin, but knocked out the last second, slapped out, and that was intense, but back to a rebound here from Sneck.
Hobo dove out there and tried to get that disc. It did get that disc, did disrupt the jukes that were coming in from Khan, but Khan's going to go in for attempt number 2 now. 4 defenders on him, I think, are going to be able to slap that disc out of his hand at the very least. As they do, a bit of an awkward back pass goes back into the hands of Khan. Hobo challenges him out, and Khan this time manages to juke out the goalie and get the dunk. A bit of a just unable to get that disc out of their zone, and Khan doing a great job of getting those rebounds to keep the pressure on and finally get some points in the add into their lead already.
A very sneaky move at the end there too, and nicely done, as you mentioned, the duck, and kind of let go of the disc just to trick out the defender, freeze him out a little bit, and enable that shot to go. So they're down by 4. Geo is going to roll it right into the goal, just coast to coast. So talk about a geo and geography. I mean, uncontested on that one. Then they crack into that goose egg, and now they've got their first 2 points for Rebrand.
Cutting the lead in half. The risk of having such a small lead as you get deeper into these rounds is that it can easily be cut in half. It can easily come back. It's easy to come back. Right now, it's only a 1-goal lead, and so all Rebrand have to do here is just get possession and try and attack yet again. If Arsenic can continue to pile on, obviously that's going to be the best situation for them. If they can keep buying time here like they are now, this also works out to kind of run the clock down a little bit. And they are managing to. I mean, you see here Khan. They're not forcing up anything over aggressive. Khan's done such a good job of juking out when he's trying to approach up on the goal, and finally passes it down range. Maybe the attack getting set up here.
Yeah, Khan one to watch. We'll watch this. It's Snick getting in onto the fun, and they got a 6-2 advantage. And really, yeah, that play in particular, that roll up the floor, that one a little bit slower than the other ones, which is to say they are all positioned and spaced out very well. You got the initial Dusty, that stun on the defender by Khan, and the sidestep by Khan, and then finally just passing it all up the floor. Got themselves a good look and good goal. Right back into the offense now for Rebrand, seeing if they can react, but instead getting taken back. There's Khan and Sneck on a great stack.
Really nice defensive stack there to get that intercept, and now they're right back onto the attack. The full force of Rebrand is here, though. Not going to be easy to get away from, and it does result in the full clear down range. Now the disc floating inside the zone. Marcus able to be here to be able to scoop it up and keep this Rebrand offense from setting up inside their zone. He's got to be careful of the pressure that is coming in. A back pass there, a full pass up here. Khan now going to probably most likely try and juke his way up through the midfield and set up some kind of attack. Man, this is the dodge, the stack as he pushes up, and he's doing some great work to avoid the pressure that is getting thrown at him from Rebrand.
Yeah, and a quick shout out as well to A Glove, Pawnstream, Pangolin, Poggin, Lulz, Echo, Nadash, and Alan Slayer. Citrus as well. Well, let's see, they're going to treat themselves to some vitamin I wish it was a 3, so I could have said Vitamin 3. But nonetheless, it's Geo's, and with the Fury.
Right back into a 1-point lead. Rebrand doing a really good job of keeping this thing close, and I want to see what kind of defensive attack we get here out of this Rebrand team. If they're going to come out from this midfield, yeah, there it is. That quick stack aggressive tries to get some aggressive in the base sort of defense to that QB, but ultimately they are able to get through. Can't quite get their hands on the disc as this quick stack from Rebrand really doing some good work there in the midfield and ultimately getting this disc into the hands of their team.
Now that's right, Wit, in the chat there. What? Are you saying it's not a Fury? What? Mix with the disc, though, and up top they could actually tie it up here if they get it going. They had the pass up to potentially the nest, but just missing the grab, so that will allow 3 different defenders a chance to recover. They're trying to boost down the floor just beyond the reach. And coming out of the stun, there's Schnoz with a tap off into the tunnel. Now trying to look for their grabs if they can, which is a wise move for sure. Mix, still another recovery, and now a little bit dangerous because the goal is going to be open. Of course, though, with all the brawls happening at midfield, there's still enough time for Arsenic to recover and maybe even deliver off of the stack. The rebound, a 2-on-1 backboard, and 8-4. Those were some nice moves and predicated off the speed to get them there before the defense could even react.
Hobo nearly read that. You watched that he does reach back behind him to try and snag that bounce off the backboard, and it just goes a bit to his right there, just out of his reach. So a near defensive grab from the likes of Hobo, but can't quite get his hands on it. And now they're going to have to attack. They have to score 2 goals quickly. Couple of 2s is what they need, because it is a 2-goal lead right now. And all that Arsenic have to do is just buy time to secure round 1.
Yeah, and more time that gets wasted here in the midfield, the worse off it's going to be for a comeback here on Rebrand's side. They still have a little bit of time, but they basically need to get this right about now. And they do, but they give it up, and maybe some ice if that deep heave goes in. A rebound will be had, though, by a Hobo as well as Mix, and gets it past Schnoz, trying to clear. 30 seconds, less than that, in fact. Mr. Marcus with a disc, and even if they don't score here, just all this time wasted is enough, I think, to take this first round.
A great back and forth, though, from both of these teams, you know. Ooh, Khan getting fancy, too, at the end of round 1. He tried. That's the move that was disrupted earlier by Hobo, but finds success with it there as he threads through a few defenders.
You know what that was?
Find himself another 2, and that was nice.
Yeah, doing some spins, granted physically as opposed to using the control sticks, but spinning around, I can call him Connemara Chaos. Yeah, maybe. Either way, though, causing some chaos for sure in there. Went to it a few times. We saw it, as you mentioned. Lost it once. Had another kind of crafty move, ducked below a goal that he scored. And yeah, Khan just doing some work, and not only doing some work, but doing it with some style.
Yeah, definitely a key element to the likes of the Arsenic team, and we'll see what. Man, Rebrand were so close there throughout the majority of this round. You know, they kept things tight. Hobo throwing up some great defensive saves in goal, and they had really good flashes of this quick stack that was disrupting in defense, and then ultimately getting this possession, clearing it down, and then quickly attacking. You know, with the stack and clear, it was nicely done, and it didn't happen throughout the entirety of round 1, but it was coming together there at the end of it. Maybe they can kind of transfer some of that momentum, some of that speed that they had at the end of round 1 into the entirety of this round 2. I never count out a team that's lost that close. They certainly have proved that they can snag around. So we'll see what happens. I think we got
juked.
A false start.
Took a timeout just before the buzzer went out. So, you know, teams aren't allowed to do that, certainly between rounds. Not sure what the pause was or wasn't for, but we shall see. Maybe it was a mispress. I'm not sure. Just waiting for one person probably to get back from taking a swig of water. I see that happen from time to time. But with that, we're back in it. It looks like anyway, and assuming both teams here are lined up for their jousts. And round 2 coming back at it, Rebrand, seeing if they can indeed rebrand and just start off strong here. claim the second round, force a third, and would be the right way, the great way to end these streams here on this block, as it will be Toasty Beans with a chance to start off strong. Mentioning that there's Geo, but missing a pass.
I love that play that Rebrand comes in there with, all sitting down on the floor, trying to attack from the bottom of the zone. They can't quite get the passes they need. Now they shift up to the upper half of the zone, and there's Mix with a really nice cross shot there as he fades through the middle of the zone and finds himself two.
Yeah, those counter momentum shots are not all that easy to do, but definitely, you know, up close and manage to put in just enough behind it to squeeze it into the goal and pass the defender. And that's the way they wanted to start. There you go. You wipe off the pains of yester minute, yester round, and just start off strong with a by putting the team who just won there, Arsenic, making them, you know, have to react and making them putting them on their heels for a change. And that's exactly what you want to do. Don't allow them to continue building on that rhythm they started getting in that last half of round one, especially as that nearly goes in off the clear.
That would have been a nice little 3-point boost to their lead, but either way, they still managed to hold on to the disc. An interesting pass there, right into the hands of Dios, who fires it down for two. Now it's a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, right place, right time. Nice touch there, just from above, kind of turning into the goal, and with that, an even better start for them. And Geo, both of these first couple goals, as launching out is Arsenic, trying not to give up a third in a row, because that is where, as I mentioned, I feel like 3 in a row is where the real momentum shifts happen for teams.
Yeah, and this aggressive stack has been doing great. This is exactly what I talked about that was working for them at the end of round one. And here's a 3-point shot that goes just a bit high, bounces off the shield. But this Rebrand team coming into this round two looking solid right now. The question is, can they keep this sort of speed up for another 7.5 minutes? It's certainly not easy to play quick for that long. It's an athletic sport, you know. This game, you really, the throwing, the movement, all of it. It's a lot to be doing over the course of 30 minutes. So we'll see if they can keep that pace going as Arsenic try and bounce back with a shot of their own, cutting the lead in half.
Nice passing as well. Cross in front to back, and then right into the goal. So gotta love that. Get themselves the first 2 points. That's the fundamentals are fundamentals for a reason. That's a great way to break any kind of seal and get it done the right way, as now will be the first offensive joust for Rebrand, and maybe not turns into an offensive joust for Arsenic instead.
Bit of miscommunication there on who was gonna be goalie. Everyone rolling out to get the pass and nobody ultimately taking it. An unfortunate mistake that does result in 3 nonetheless. So they won't let that happen again in the rest of this round. But either way, nicely capitalized on by the likes of Arsenic. And now the rollout gonna come in here. You can see trying to mimic that aggressive stack that they were being shown from the likes of Rebrand. This time Rebrand maybe going to try and set up for an attack. The stun doesn't come in, and the clear is able to get put out. Khan snags it, and now he's going to try and work his way through the midfield.
Oh, but a big grab there from Mix, and now checking it up for 3, but dinging. Tough miss there for sure, but still gotta love that defensive play. The important thing is, despite, again, mistakes, every team makes them. It's about how you react and recover, so despite the fact that their momentum was a bit stalled and nothing else went the reverse way thanks to back-to-back goals from Arsenic. It's going to be checked there by Toasty Beans and exporting it to the opposite side on a clear.
Oh, great clear at that. Nearly goes in off of that side bounce. The stack is here to intercept the disc. Maybe they can get something going here. This is an open goal 3 opportunity. The pass comes to the bottom of the zone. They're going to go for the 2 instead. They want to lock in this goal and make sure it doesn't go wide when they have that opportunity. And now their lead is there, but it's only 1 point.
Yeah, good way to react and get back on the scoreboard, and off of a save as well. So both parts of that play, you get it saved, but what do you do after? Well, you want to do that. It's a tough thing to do, but you want to do that because you don't want to have to defend multiple possessions in a row. So when you can capitalize on saves, you get your boost going efficiently. That's going to get you some good opportunities. That said, that's a great opportunity for a 3-point shot, perhaps, as it will be off. And now the goalie back into the goal, and in the trap, rebounded by Khan. Arsenic down by 1, halfway through round 2.
Khan just caught sleeping there a little bit. He was looking for the pass, the setup, and the stack there disrupts him. Still The disc able to stay into the hands of Arsenic, though, and they are going to be passing inside this rebrand zone as they work themselves up to the outer bubble, trying to attack. A good bit of stunning there. Khan nearly sets himself up for a 2, but the stun coming in from the defense, the full clear.
Hold
coming
on.
in as the mail slot shot
Jeez.
dings just off the edge. That nearly went in. That would have been a nice little boost to the likes of Rebrand's score, but instead it's going to be Rebrand with dispossession inside Arsenic's zone.
Even from my sideline angle, the moment that release out the hand, I felt it was good. So it was so close, narrowly missing. That would have been a gigantic momentum boost and a huge highlight play for sure. Now needing to get back into the defensive end of things and contest these stacks coming in. There's 3 players, so now a big stun. The defense out of sorts here, out of position, and trying to take advantage of that was Schnoz, but being pounced on by a bunch of defenders at that point, and will be regathered with less than 4 minutes left. 1 point advantage going to Rebrand, but I mean, it's pretty much anyone's round here. Certainly Rebrand hoping to see the 3rd as they back it out, but just missing is Arsenic on the offense.
Looks like it's heading the other way.
So Geo with a deep shot, that said, and Knight fired off, didn't he?
Jeez, I can't believe Geo's just threaded that in. I just kind of got lost watching it as they were floating that disc in the midfield, vying for it. It was a great steal that gets scooped up, and then to go for that 3. I mean, we saw them go for that 2 when they had that open goal 3, and they didn't want to go for it because it is risky. They're hard to make, but instead, you know, that time the confidence in the bones of Rebrand as they sink in a 3. A shot comes in, Hobo able to scoop that up before it even gets inside the bubble. Tries to clear it out, but the stack's sitting back here waiting to grab it for Arsenic. Push it into the zone again, but Hobo waiting and ready for those shots on goal. And the disc just getting bounced back and forth inside the Rebrand zone. Here's the attack, a great cross pass as Khan jukes the dive and sinks it in for 2.
Yeah, Khan putting in some style. Talk about confidence. Well, puts the Khan in confidence. But that being said, when I think they got to be careful, because when it works, it's great. But when you're coming up from a position of playing from behind, which they have been in this round, a couple different junctures, if you're putting in that kind of steez and it ends up not paying off for you, that can throw you into a deeper hole. That can get teams a chance to come back, right? So it's those situations where you do have to be careful with exactly how far you press it. Otherwise, you know, it just gives those windows, and Rebrand so far has taken those windows opportunity to really establish themselves in this round, and looking good still yet for a 3rd one. Of course, with 2.5 minutes left, it's completely within reach for Arsenic to cause kind of contextually an upset in this round. But you know, we saw what they did in the first one. It was 10 to 4. This one kind of hitting a bit of a higher pace off of a brief timeout, and Joust going to Rebrand now.
I think that was a tactical timeout really from Rebrand. They seem to be kind of regathering themselves a little bit, readied up, and they're now going to go in for the attack after a bit of a tough loss on that last goal. And now the offensive joust getting squandered a bit as Schnoz able to grab it and instantly lead into another attack. Hobo's here to defend, but he goes a bit wild on the Geo, able to stun out Khan from really being a threat, and he's here to be able to scoop this up and eventually clear it down range. He gets past actually the full force of this offense that is surrounding him. Toasty tries to get up and disrupt.
Nice.
The defense is here, the path to Khan, and Khan sinks it in for another 2. A great attack, and now we're all tied up with what, 1 minute and 45 left on the clock.
Oh yeah, that was excellence of execution. Look at that pass threaded a needle through a couple of diving defenders outside the bubble, hit the right cutter. Khan was able to get that. I think for a Rebrand, maybe the only difference I'd mention, because it was a longer pass, may have been diveable, may have been a diveable one. But that said, that was just wonderfully executed, and now maybe a chance for a lead right back, but missing on that shot was Khan. Still rebounding though is Snack, and couldn't get the goal either, as it does bounce outside the bubble to Mix and Rebrand, and now they'll be back at the offense perhaps.
That was a couple of 3 opportunities there that went just a touch wide. That would have really been a good time to sink something like that in with such limited time left on the clock. A 3 is practically a 2-goal lead. There's the backboard shot. That goes just a bit low. not quite enough, not quite the right angle to sink it in. Another shot that goes maybe without enough velocity and floats into the hands of Mix. Now the full clear coming down. We're getting into danger time here with 45 seconds left. You don't want the disc in your zone if you're on either one of these teams. It does look like Arsenic do have some control as he tries to get around the Geode. Khan actually drops disc, and now the pass goes just a bit wide as it was coming in for the back clear, and it's floating around inside the zone of Rebrand. Schnoz nearly grabs it. 25 seconds left on the clock.
Well done from both those players there, getting the leech on each other, one after the other as well. I'm seeing some smart things at Mixed. You know, Mixed has been kind of eyeing in the last minute or so, positioned very well, diving well. See if they can get this goal. They can force around 3 with a collection, having trouble wrangling the disc, but a perfect pass, and the finish not quite there. So maybe an OT in the way, unless a miracle happens right about now, trying to hand it off to the bow tie. It's not there, and it will be a tie, so OT, Nightfire on the way.
I always loved me a little bit of overtime, okay? I got no complaints here, but wow, what a close attack. They almost locked that in. That was nearly the series there, but instead it's going to be overtime. We'll see who wins the joust.
All right, well, butted out of there. This is going to be much more stressful, I'm sure, for Rebrand than they had intended, but trying to get it done. They do win the headbutt, but unfortunately it's Khan for Arsenic, who ends up with a disc by the conclusion of that joust, and now just backing it out to Mr. Marcus. And Marcus, right down the lane, already well prepared with a pass. They have another one there. What a snack from Mix. Called it out, and indeed some stellar defensive play yet again from Mix off of what was otherwise going to be a great cross pass into a potential shot on goal. So Toasty Beans now with it for Rebrand, and a chance to maybe take this win with a handoff play to Mix, and mixes it in, mixes it up. We're going to a third.
Wow, what a great attack there. And you saw the strategy that was coming in from the likes of Arsenic, and it was to buy some time. They wanted to push the clock down a little bit, really force out that full offense to come all the way to them inside their zone. And then they tried to quick pass up all the way through the midfield. That last pass was their attack. You know, it was going to be a one-on-one, a pass up to their teammate that was going to result in what could have been the series win, but instead it's just plucked out of the sky by the likes of Mix. And geez, what a great then attack on the goal, the cross passing inside the zone to lock it in.
It was great.
An awesome way to push it to a round 3.
Absolutely. I love the fact that even on that last potential game-winning shot at the end of regulation, that they, even though they missed it, still perfectly executed pass, and more so, they still came back for Rebrand in overtime, and they executed. They didn't let it get them down. That's always a tough part of sports and competition in general, and they still hunkered down. They got back in it. See, Twitch chat is excited about it. VRML Zora, what's up? Gems, good evening, and good morning, Callan, wherever you are as well. Yeah, and Addicts. There you go. I was calling you Switch, I think, not Twitch, but yeah. Glad to have you in here cheering him on. Pangolin as well. Really excited about what we just witnessed there, and so am I. Definitely wanted to throw an MVP of at least the last few minutes of that round to Mix, because just doing both the little and big things in that round to help them pull ahead as we launch into the third. Have I lulled Nightfire to sleep?
Great pickup by Orange.
Sorry, I was muted there. And I was just saying, what a great series to end the night on. You know, it's been such a great back and forth, and it's a silver team nonetheless. This is the middle of the pack displaying this much skill. It's really quite impressive to have this gorgeous of a display of skill level there as Schnoz finds a great shot that gets an early lead for Arsenic.
Yeah, gorgeous and gorging for that goal. I mean, there was a lot of bodies in there. Somehow found a way to slip the disc into the goal, but not the most easy walk into it. Certainly, when you turn around and suddenly, boom, you're being stunned by 6 or 8 different fists, and just intense efforts being put through here as the first 2 points does go Arsenic's way, and now Geo will be stunned, and Khan the delivery for maybe just a one-on-one, but
What?
no go.
That was a Was that a no look over the back shot on the backboard shot? I don't know what that was. That would have been wild if that had gone in. But either way, the clear comes in. That backboard shot nearly goes in for the likes of Rebrand, and what was a near clear does again get snagged by the Rebrand midfield, and we'll see if they can set up for a successful attack as they patch the disc around the zone of Arsenic.
Yeah, and on that shot, it's kind of as I was getting at earlier, where if you make it, I mean, huge shot, huge momentum building play, highlight play, can get your team feeling super good. But in close situations, close games like this, when they miss, that's when you can be looking back at the VODs later and say, oh, maybe if I just took the slightly easier route and have gotten that, it's one of those plays you look back at later if things end up not working out for you by the end of the match. So it's always a balance for sure, and trying to tread that balance well are these teams as Rebrand just spacing out fundamentally and looking for those passes, looking excellent with the spacing here.
Absolutely, the setup here, nice and patient. Despite them being down, they know it's just a goal lead. It's not too big. Easily can come back from. A bit of an awkward back pass here, though. Does go really wide all the way down into the zone of Rebrand, and it does allow for an attack to be set up from Arsenic if they can get here in time. They can't. Cleared back down into the Arsenic zone, and looks like they are going to have one here at least to prevent what could have been a stacked shot there on an open goal.
Yeah, Toasty Beans able to get there and pass it up to Geos, who hands it to the Bowtie, liking this passing and spacing once more. There it is, another cut. Khan with some defense, and now forcing Geo into a shot was Sneck off the dive outside the bubble. So great defensive stand there for Arsenic to really pressure despite some great passing from Rebrand. Rebrand trying to refresh, and that's going to bounce actually close to the goal before it's rebounded now by Toasty.
That nearly went in. That could have been a huge three. That could have been a momentum swinger. That would have got them the lead. So maybe they are thirsty for a three. It's not going to be easy to sink in, but again, they're not being overly aggressive. They're being patient with their time. They're trying to get the setup they want. Toasty get their good pass, and he dives in for two, as the whole defense is really pulled up to the upper half of the zone. So a great bit of work again from the attack of Arsenic, and great passing inside the zone to get them that two and tie it up.
Oh yeah, I'm impressed. I was impressed by the defense, how they addressed it for much of that play, but just kind of whittling down them, down that defense pass by pass, and eventually finding it was Rebrand, and so it was excellent for sure to tie it up in the third round, and wouldn't want to have it any other way in competition, as now it will be Arsenic on a mission for a goal.
Yeah, we're nearly at the halfway mark, and we're all tied up. They're trying to set up for an attack, but Geos is there to disrupt. Gets a good snag of the disc, and then quickly passes it back to Hobo. Snags it, and now they go on for the full attack through the midfield. Hobo actually leading this time. Normally, he's been sitting in the back, allowing his team to get set up in the front. And as I say that, he does just that. Allows his team to get set up in the front, gets a nice pass up, and here comes the attack from Rebrand, floating into the zone. Sneck allowed to get too close to the goal and fires in for two. Now they have the lead.
Sneck getting kind of the self goal there, so bouncing off him on off what otherwise was another great passing play executed all the way down the floor. It wasn't speedy, it didn't need to be. It was just precise, and with that, advantage back to Rebrand.
A little bit confused when those shots off of the head come in, or a slap in from the defense. But either way, a good bit of a bounce back here from this defense, from this Arsenic team. There's a good cross pass, a beauty to Khan.
Yeah,
those 2 points instantly squandered. The momentum instantly shifting.
Yeah, and credit to them, though, they did basically an identical play to what Rebrand was able to do. So worked it up the floor with just some careful, precise passes all the way down that long range, and got them the easy does it goal at the end with a great cross pass. So both these teams now starting to mirror each other here in this round, and trying to prioritize the mentals and the fundamentals, and right now getting stunned there. So Schnoz with a chance at a goal, but there is a goalie way back there, Hobo, just manning that back line, not wanting to allow those long rangers like we saw a couple of earlier on.
This might be a shot attempt here. Bouncing up, just goes a bit low off the goal there. Doesn't find the right bounce he was looking for, but tried to get something going there off the bottom of the zone, couldn't quite find it, and now Arsenic setting up for the attack. The pass there over to the likes of Sneck. They're into the 2v1, but the defense is here in time, forces the back pass.
Yeah, kind of got caught in no man's land there and had to send it. That said, sends it back, but a good dive. There it is. I called out the dives earlier and how sometimes you want to try and prioritize that when it's long enough distance. They did, but unfortunately they lose it, conceding it back to Khan, and Khan with another one. Duck, duck, and now the 2-point Goose. They're up by 2.
He has just been juking everybody today. He the spin moves, the ducks, just wow, what a great dodge of stuns there to get those 2 points. And hey, we're down to the last 3 minutes, 2:45 left on the clock. The 2-point lead, not something you can be comfortable with. So I'm sure Arsenic wanna pile on here. They want to get a few more points if they can. Here comes the attack. The pass goes just a bit wide to Khan. Hobo doesn't dare dive too far. He's got to stay in goal.
Yeah, knowing that the teammates there are with him and can just help add to the defensive pressure in the outer edges of the bubble, and they do. So Mix will get the disc eventually. As a result, they have a chance to tie it, take a lead maybe. It's going to be a pass and anchor, well communicated, well placed, and it's a tied up game. Mix to Geos, and they knew exactly where they were going with that play.
Good bit of juking there to work around their one-on-one defenders. A great cross pass right on line, hitting them right in the chest, and then just sinking it in for 2. An excellent setup, an excellent attack. We're into the 2-minute drill, Pally. This is round 3. We're tied up 6 minutes. There's 2 minutes left on the clock. Have you practiced for these moments? I always wonder.
I'm not even sure that you can really, because there's just no... You can drill as much as you'd like, but when it comes down to those game time situations, you can't make artificial adrenaline and stress and those kind of things. I mean, you just gotta be confident in your execution on, the rest of the 8 minutes of a round, right? Your normal play. You have to be confident in your game plan as a whole, and just rely on those fundamentals and rely on that to push you ahead when it comes down to the stress, where you can't rely on anything but those instincts and the ability to just do what you know you need to. And they will get a grab here to maybe pull ahead by 2, but a little bit of a rushed one that will bounce to a rebound from Toasty.
Yeah, you do see a bit of that panic there, a bit of the urgency starting to settle in. Some passes going just a touch wide, some shots maybe not finding their mark as the slap comes in there. Hobo sitting in the midfield, ready for that push down though, and it's really going to come down to Arsenic working up through the midfield past this Hobo, past Hobo in that midfield there to get themselves up and attack. As I say that, Schnoz with a good intercept, Mix with a good stun. He's coming in for the attack. There's a huge steal from Khan. That was nearly a one-on-one setup. Here comes a good clear, 30 seconds left. Schnoz, an open goal 3 opportunity. Can he sink it in? It's a long range shot. It bounces off and goes just a bit high.
Ooh.
Toasty able to get here in time, scoops it up.
Oh no!
And we're floating around. 20 seconds left. What's going to happen?
Oh, well, first of all, making up for that mistake with a quick boost, so credit to them. That shot is almost in. That's going to bounce with 12 seconds left in this one. The Stacks once more back on that recovery, but not there quick enough for the grab. So over to Sneck, but Sneck has to be careful because that almighty chain is just up and down the floor. And guess what? In the 3rd round, we're going down to sudden death in the last reaches of this game and this stream. What a way to end it. These teams have got to be sweating.
Love to see it. Double OT, our second OT of the series here. We had one in round 2 to push us to this round 3, and now things very close. Who is going to be the first to score? Who is going to take this series? The next goal determines who's gonna do it, as the joust does push the disc into the zone of rebrand.
Oh, but have to be careful. Geo getting stunned by Schnoz. Schnoz actually losing the disc there, releasing it, and Toasty Beans will grab. Now trying to just take a quick breath before finding someone to dish it off to. Now it takes a rugged few bounces into the trap where Khan is able to gather that one again. Manages to stun out Mix before sending it way back to the sideline. But look at how aggressive everyone is being here, not wanting to give up an inch anywhere in the field, much less the bubble. A soft handoff not reaching, but Sneck taking it back and into the bubble again.
A minute 20 left of this first OT. Well, it very well could go to more. It's up to these teams. It's up to who is going to finally set up for a good attack. And it looks like Rebrand want to do that with the minute left they have of this overtime. They're trying to get control of the disc and push up through the midfield, but they can't. And now they've pulled a lot of their defense out of the zone. They're diving in. Geos dives back here. Hobo is here to respond. The double stacks there. The stun nearly comes in from Sneck, but the shot goes wide. The attack continues to come in from Arsenic with 50 seconds left, and as I say that, Mix able to clear it out.
Oh, this is Wild Night. This is raucous, and let's see what happens there. It's almost a goal, and Hobo just overshooting though, so we'll be taken now back again. Rebound by Geo. Big rebound, big goal, and it's closed. It's over. Geo has won it, and Rebrand has done it.
To a fantastic series. Rebrand scoops up that disc and fires it in for 2, locking it in for the series win just at the tail end of overtime. And, you know, like I said, couldn't ask for a better round to end the Friday night series because, geez, that was a great back and forth.
Oh, yeah, that was ridiculously competitive. That was a phenomenal game to watch. And for these teams who, again, this is everyone here watching, you know, all 60 of you are here constantly through the whole stream. I mean, how about that for a stream debut between these teams? We get 2 overtimes across these 3 rounds, going down to the absolute wire in the thick of things. We're seeing excellent defense. I was super impressed because defense is not an easy thing to nail down because it's so reliant on communication and coordination with your teammates and everyone being exactly where they need to be. But I saw that a lot. Arsenic especially, I was very, very impressed with their defensive communication. For Rebrand, I was very impressed with their offensive initiations and their moves up the floor. I mean, we're seeing things from these silver teams. I remember Twitch chat mentioning, you know, these teams only formed, or at least one of these teams, I believe Rebrand, I think only, you know, just formed in the last month or so. You're seeing very advanced strategies and metas and team play being utilized offensively and defensively, and to do that on your first stream as well with that little extra added oomph and pressure to the mix. Both these teams play their hearts out. That was phenomenal to watch. I love that match and exciting. Yeah.
Again, I think a great way to round out the night. I don't think we have any more matches slotted for the rest of the evening. So a shout out to everyone that's been tuning in throughout the course of the night. I know we've also had some good EU games this afternoon. So if you do want to check those out, you can always head on over to the Echo Arena VRML YouTube, where you can catch the rebroadcast, the stream highlights, the interviews, get all of your Echo Arena footage that you could ever desire all over there on the Echo Arena VRML YouTube. Feel free to go over there and subscribe. Also, a shout out to all of the new followers that have come in today. We've had a ton of new followers over the course of this batch of games, so really do appreciate everyone that's been coming in and hitting that follow button. If you are new, we always have games here casted on this channel and Echo Arena VRML 2 and sometimes 3, so you know, be sure to follow everything so you can always get some Echo Arena games in your system, because it happens, we cast often.
Yeah, absolutely. Just about every single day. Throughout the entire season, you know, break weeks aside, we don't miss too many streams on a day-to-day basis, so rest assured, yeah, you hit the follow button, you get notified. I mean, you'll be here with us watching, you know, the most exciting matches every single night in VR Master League. With that, as Knight mentioned, the links to all those things, channel 2, 3, as well as our YouTube, you can find that in the description there on this channel. So if you just scroll down a little bit, you should see right underneath some links to all of the above to subscribe and follow those channels too if you wish to. And yeah, with that, thanks Knight for joining me on this match. Sir Dimwee early on streaming the first half of the primetime blocks in North America as well. Yeah, and Twitch chat, thank you. That was minty fresh, like cilantro. I'm sorry, it's kind of late. I don't really have a lot of time to work that one in, but that was a fun one. Congrats to Rebrand for the win, and both of these teams are playing so well. The channel points polls, yes indeed, there you go. And complete. So with that, everyone, I've been Palidore, that's been Nightfire, and this has been VRML Channel 1. Until next time around, which is to say, well, tomorrow and this weekend, of course, venues do turn into that. Be happy, be healthy, be safe, and be good to each other, and we will see you again really soon.
We're underway.
Season 3 of VRML Echo Arena is brought to you by HyperX, Rebuff Reality, Asterion Products, ProTube VR, VR Cover, Fixed Gaming, and VRware.net.